I'm that redstone guy, and here we see today a pink sheep in its natural habitat. And today we're going to light this thing on fire. Hit it. G'day mates, Redstone guy here, but you can call me Red. No, we don't actually speak like that, but today I'm here to show you my frame quarry and give you a tutorial on it. I know my last video wasn't up to my real standards, and some people said I walked a bit too fast around it and didn't really show you the sort of workings of it too well, but hopefully I can get that covered today. So this is going to be part one of a hopefully two-part little episode tutorial thing. Part one's going to be the showcasing and the building of it tutorial, and the second part's going to be the more detailed programming. I will do some programming this episode, but yeah, it's quite complicated and I haven't got it all figured out myself yet. But yeah, okay, so we've got some solar panels on the top here, which power a lot of battery boxes. Now, not all of these are necessary, and I have added a few extra since the last time I showed you. But the basic gist is that we've got a lot of block breakers here, and they're all connected to some redstone pneumatic tubes which break the blocks and feed it into the tubes. And the tubes go to the ender chest, which is dealt with off-site by what you'd probably have as a sorting system, but I've just got it feeding into a condenser from Equivalent Exchange. Now we've got wireless receivers here for every action we've got. We've got one here for breaking the block that connects to some jacketed wire which connects to the redstone pneumatic tubes. We've also got wireless receivers for going left and right, forward, backward, up and down, and yeah, it'll be more apparent when we get into building it. And got solar panels, battery boxes. This is the motors for the up and down movement. There's 6 of them in total. So yeah, let's get started in building it. I'm going to build it right over here, right near this one, just so that I can look back really quickly. So what you want to do is just lay down 4 block breakers, then another 4, and then another 4, and one more row of block breakers. Then you want to lay down a layer of frames in between all of them to hold them all together, like so. And then you can orientate them to be all facing up. Alright, I've got that done. Then we can lay our pneumatic tubes, like so, on top of every single one. And connect them all along this side. We can then add some frames along here. Then going to add a panel. Now you've got to make sure it's a panel and not a cover, because they're very different functions. You can tell by the little arrow sort of thing here in the corners of all of them that it's a panel. You place a wireless receiver here and a bit of that stuff there. We can now grab some stone jacketed wire, and I'm going to put that there, and that'll connect in with these things, like so. We can also fill in these with frames, like that. After that, we can start laying the basis of the EG Drive Mark 6 from Team Pants Madness's video. I hope I'm saying that right. And lay that down like that. Can then grab our frame motors and lay them like that, orientating them like this, so they're up. We'll face them all up to begin with. If I was a noob, if I wasn't a noob, I would have done that first go. And we want to face this one this way, this one this way, this one up, and this one this way. We then want to sort of build up a little bit and lay another grid like, oops, a 4x4 grid on top of that, on top of those. And we can remove this one. Then we want to put covers, and make sure they're covers, not panels. You can tell by them not having the little arrow thing in the corner like they did on the other one. And placing some frame motors on top of them, like that. You can then orientate them, like so that the thing is up, and then we want to get the thing so it matches this face. So the little white thing's going that way, and the little white thing's going that way, so we want to get it so that it's going the same way as this one down here. And we can do that for all of them. Okay, now that we've got that done, we can connect the top part like so. And then lay down some panels, again, panels, not covers, like this on every single one of these. Then lay some red ally wire like that. Then lay your wireless receivers. You then want to choose the frequencies for these ones, because some of them will be hidden behind other blocks. I'm just going to go with 1 here, and then for the opposing side I'm going to do 2, and then I guess I'll go, instead of going 3, I'll go 4, and then over here I'll go 8. Now I'm doing this is because it's binary, and it'll make the coding in the computer a lot easier. So the binary numbers in order are 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024. Now you only need to remember up to 64 for this thing itself, but yeah. So now I guess we can lay the solar panels. I'm not sure exactly how many you need, but too many is better than not enough. So yeah, I'm just going to cover the whole top in panels up here. Unlike the other one, it's slightly different. And then we're going to find, probably shouldn't have put that away. Going to find some solar panels from Red Power and cover this whole thing in solar panels, like so. After this, you want to get a battery box, as we're going to need that. Get rid of these redstone pneumatic tubes, don't need them anymore. And we're going to need one here. Now you don't have to make it a battery box, you can make it a blue jacketed cable, but more battery boxes equals more storage. And some other places where you can add battery boxes but are not necessary are here, here, and here. But they aren't necessary, but you do need something here, either a battery box or a blue trick jacketed cable or whatever it's called. After that, you want to lay some frames down like this, and then you will grab your frame motors, which I stupidly deleted before, and put them like, we'll orient this one up and this one down, I believe it is. I'll check that in a moment. And yes, it is correct. One thing you may want to do though is, before placing this one, is put a cover in here. It's not necessary, but yeah, you can put a cover there and then place your motor like that. After that, we will place some panels up here. Let me see. I'll just make a correction to what I did earlier. We don't actually need this frame here. It goes like that, and you need 2 panels. Those are panels, not covers again. Place your wireless receiver there, and then a piece of redstone here. And you do sort of a similar thing down the bottom. Remove that one because we didn't actually need that. And place your wireless receiver here, orientated if needed, and place your red ally wire there. After this, you can probably add your end chest. I'll just find that. Put mine right here. You could use an alchemical chest from Equivalent Exchange, I'll show you that, or a condenser, but I find an end chest is better because then you can get it straight back to your sorting system and then do whatever you want with it. You could use a normal chest, but I think it'd fill up pretty quickly, so that's not advised. After this, we can set the frequencies. I'm going to set this one to 16, that's the down motor, and this one to 32, and this one to 64. Now all we have to do is connect the solar panels to the frame engines. So what we can do is place a battery box on top of here. You do need at least one battery box next to the solar panels because I don't believe they connect to blue trick jacketed cabling, but the minimum is one battery box and that'll fill up pretty quickly actually. But I'm going to fill all the rest of the things in with battery boxes, but you can use blue trick cabling. The minimum you need is one battery box, but that's not going to last you if you want to run your quarry at night. But you can do that if you want to, if you're low on resources. Just wait for this quarry to get you some more. I'm just going to run some battery boxes, and yeah, this one doesn't have a frame connected to it. So we're going to resolve that issue by running some frames along the top here and up to here. And then I'm going to run some more battery boxes again. These aren't necessary, but only the ones that connecting to these, but you can make them blue trick cabling if you want. So those are not connected by frames either, so we need to connect them with frames because everything's got to be connected with frames. I'll just run some frames across there and run some of these along here, and you can have as many of these as you want. You don't actually have to. Blah blah blah. And as you can see, this design is rather different from this one, but you know, as long as it's all connected with frames and has the core functionality, you should be right. So let's get into the adding covers. So every single outward facing block you need to put a cover on. Every single one of them. And I'm going to go ahead and do this now, and I'll get back to you in a moment. I think I should clarify this a bit more. You only want to put them on the blocks that are on the very out edge. You don't put them like on the insides here. You only on the outer edges like this. You don't need them, or you don't put them on like there or there. Anyways, I'll see you when I'm done. And after you've done that, we've got to dig down underneath here. I'm just going to dig a little bit underneath here. And we've got to put covers on the undersides of all the frames that are underneath here. I'll show you that in just a moment. Here we are. See this? We need to dig underneath all of these and make sure we have covers and not panels. So I'm going to go ahead and do all that now, and I'll be back in a second. After you've done that, you may want to cover it up like I have, and I'm pretty sure it's all done. We just got to wait for the batteries to charge. I think I may give these this a little helping hand by spawning in some batteries with NEI. I'm just going to make sure we get a good amount of juice into the battery boxes and the system, and then I'll show you how to test to see if it's working. Alright, that should be plenty of juice. Now, how to test it. I had a little rig set up over here, which you may have seen in my previous video, for testing this one when I first built it. What I've just done is hooked up a wireless receiver to a wireless transmitter to all the frequencies that I've made. Now I've got them here as like 100 and something, because that's what I made the frequencies over here on this one. But now I'm going to just go onto here and minus 100 on all of these, and then I'll get back to you. Alright, I've done that, so that all those numbers that we had are 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and 64 for the block breaker. So I'm just going to press that to make sure it works, and yes, you can see it illuminating over there. And now I'm going to go through each and every one of the movements. So press that. Is it working? Where were we? Oh, yeah, that's right, testing that. Right before I just discovered a problem with my design, I forgot to connect this side of the quarry to this one. That would have been fatal. So I'm going to remove this battery box, and I'll put another one there in its place. Or not in its place, but, you know, I'll put one here. And then I'm going to put another frame here to connect this side of the quarry to this one, because, yeah, otherwise we would have had a rather large problem. So don't forget that. I'm actually got my wireless remote out now instead of using that thing. So I'm just going to change the frequency to 1. And you notice the whole quarry moves. And generally, if you can move in one direction, yeah, I don't particularly like that band. Anyway, yeah, you can move in one direction, you can generally move in another. So, yeah, and for the purpose of this tutorial, and just for general common sense and being able to troubleshoot easier, I've made the numbers like opposite each other, the very next binary number, so when I do this, it moves in the opposite direction, and if you hold it down it moves, and if you hold it down it moves again. So yeah, that's back to where we started. I'll try up and down. What did I make up? 32. 32. There we go. Now, I'm going to try and explain the Inchworm drive. So, basically what it does is that the motor underneath here is pointing this way, it's coming out this way, and so is the motor above it. When this activates, there's obviously no motor here, it just moves this motor right here out this way. And then when it's in this position, the other motor gets the redstone signal, but it can't do anything because there's nothing directly above it. And this motor is now out here. It gets fired and then pushes the whole system this way, leaving itself in the same spot, and then it resets to this position, but with the whole thing moved this way. But yeah, so let's get into programming. Okay, so I'm just going to build the computer over here. You want to put down your central processing unit, you want to put down your disk drive, you want to put down your monitor, and for this, I don't think the basic commands require an extra RAM module, but certainly for the algorithms to dig a hole giving a specified area, you're definitely going to need extra RAM. So you want to put down one of these, a backplane, don't forget it, and an 8K RAM module. Now this whole system, you could put it mounted on the Quarry, and move it with the frames, and it could move with the Quarry itself. But I just like having a separate system. A separate system. Yeah, I like the idea of a separate system. But yeah, so I'm going to put down the input-output expander, and then we're going to get rid of all this, and then get some bundled cabling, which we need, and every color of the insulated thing. So what have we got to? We went up to 64, didn't we, from the wireless things. So that's 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and 64. So we're just going to need lime and pink after this. So what we do is lay down some bundled cabling like this, and we're probably going to need more. Get rid of this sonic screwdriver. Get some stone, because I don't like building on basalt. I've got nothing against it, it's just not clean for the tutorial. And I'm going to extend out the platform. I'll see you in a bit. And there we go, I've got some bundled cabling laid down. So we want to go white, orange, magenta, whatever this color is, light blue, yellow, and then we can chuck that away and grab our insulated, where is it? I can't spell. Lime insulated and pink insulated, like that. Oops, don't want lime there as well, we want pink. Then we're going to grab some wireless transmitters. Well, we don't need to do that, just because we're in creative mode. Set them up like this. And this is the same setup you saw in the last video over here. I've just got it laid up against a wall, because you can do that with red power. This would be made easier if you had like a bundled cable transmitter, but Chicken Bones has made it clear that he doesn't want to do that, so yeah, don't ask. I don't know what the reason is, but I'm sure he's got a good one. I'm going to set this up. 1, 2, 4, whoops, why did I break that? 4, 8, 16, 32, and 64. Oops. Now, the reason why I made these 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and 64 is going to become real clear in just a moment. As soon as we get into this computer type thing, I'm going